you're on house arrest, you're not making any money, and we don't work. So the only thing you have to sell is that. So there came a time when a friend of mine, I used to always post on Facebook, hey, if anybody wants to sell any cars, cash waiting. I have a pretty decent network on Facebook, and somebody contacted me that they had a friend who had gotten into some trouble with the federal government, and he was on house arrest. And he had a Ferrari 355 Spider. It was a triple black car, a convertible. He had that in his garage, and it was just sitting and rotting. And he needed money. He was hard up for cash. It had a blown clutch, and I wound up picking that car up for $45,000. Great score. I put about, I think I did a bunch of work. It needed tires, it needed the wheels refinished, it needed the clutch, throwout bearing, all that type of jazz. And I think maybe I put about 10 grand into it, maybe 12 grand. I sold that car off of Cars and Bids also. I sold that one for close to 110 at the time, and now would have gotten a lot more, but hey, it's all relative for the time. I wound up going to his house to pick up that car. I brought my flatbed and I brought the cash with me, and he did not want to let it go. He was emotional over it, and his wife and daughter made him do it. They said to him, they're like, how do you plan on paying the real estate taxes? How do you plan on paying for this? How do you plan on paying for that? You're on house arrest. You're not making any money, and we don't work. So the only thing you have to sell is that. So it's leaving. So he was involved in some sort of fraud. I don't know exactly what it was. He had pled guilty. He didn't have to do jail time. A lot of it was because of COVID. And so he was on house arrest. That was his, sentencing. But I know that they seized a lot of things, but that particular car wasn't under his name. And so I was able to buy it. And he was definitely hurt over the whole thing. It actually came with the second set of wheels. He had aftermarket wheels on it, and then he gave me the set of factory wheels, which I put back on. I did a whole bunch of work to it, just to make sure it was 100% for the next person. We did a servicing, we did a clutch. Yeah, and we sold it to a guy in California. Yeah, but it was a nice car. It was a nice car. I mean, those cars were fairly reliable for their time period. But it was the old belt service cars. I love analog cars because they really, they give you a lot of feedback. And they're not so controlled by everybody else. The 355 was very comparable to the 348. I didn't even drive it that much. As soon as I got it back, I said, you know what, I bought it to sell and flip. I really didn't buy it to own. It actually was a no sale on Cars and Bids. And then we made a deal off the block. I tend to make a lot of deals off the block. A lot of these websites get very tainted by fanboys, I would say. People that have absolutely zero intention of ever buying anything. They don't even have the ability to buy or the ability to bid. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing that they're on these websites and looking. And listen, everybody, listen, if there's history on a car and things like that, I welcome, useful banter. But people that absolutely tear things apart for no purpose whatsoever drives me insane. It happened with my Audi S8, the one that I used for the Cannonball. When I had listed it, I said it's a Cannonball prepped car. It was used, for an attempt. We did set a second place record. I was completely above board and honest with it, and everybody started chiming in saying, absolutely, this is a fraud. That car was never used. It's not noted anywhere. It's not. I was like, you people are nuts. And then, I'm pretty close with Alex Roy, and he went in there, chimed in, and backed up everything with, he had pictures and everything from the start and the finish, and that kind of quieted things down. And the car did sell, and the guy who has it absolutely loves it, and it was an awesome car. I mean, it was a great V10 car.
When you get a ticket, it might look something like this, but the first thing that you need to do is take a picture of that ticket and send it to 305 305. That will get the ticket clinic on your case immediately. They've got brick and mortar offices in Georgia, Florida, and California, but they can help you find a ticket no matter where you get it in the United States by helping you find a local attorney that will do everything they can to help you avoid costly fines, insurance premium increases, points on your license, risk of suspension, even jail time. They've helped me out with this ticket and many others, and a lot of my friends as well. So check them out now at the link in the description below, or again, text your ticket to 305-305 to get the ticket clinic on your case. They are the perfect partner in your fight against any speeding ticket.